Kid Omni-Man versus Brightburn. Two kids with the power of a god, with a tendency to kinda kill everyone around them. But they ever fought against each other, well, who will be coming out on top? And really, is it even gonna be close? Let's get into it. So Brandon was an extraterrestrial who crash landed on Earth as a baby in Brightburn, Kansas. There he was found by Tori and Kyle Brayer, who named him Brandon and took him in, adopting him as their own. Sound familiar? A little bit like Superman? Well, yeah, but that's where the similarities stop. Because when he grew up and hit puberty, well, his alien powers manifested, and he quickly transformed into a psychopathic murderer. He now dons a red cowl, calls himself Brightburn, taking on the name of the town he terrorized. And here's just some of the things Brightburn was able to do. I mean, for starters, he brutally murdered his own parents. He killed his dad by blasting open his head with his heat vision, killed his mom by picking her up and flying her into the sky, and dropping her, and that was all after he destroyed their entire house while trying to scare her. He killed his uncle too, picking up their car into the air and dropping it. He killed some police officers too by slamming them around or even flying straight through them, moving at super speed. And then Brightburn has gotten more and more powerful since then. During the end credit scene, it was said that he destroyed an entire passenger plane, killing all 200 people on board. He destroyed an entire building complex, created a large forest fire. The dude is an absolute menace. Brightburn has some good potential high-end stuff too. But that's kinda it. Like, there's an image of him scorching entire countries with his heat vision as he looks down upon the Earth from outer space. But that's not in the movie. It's promotional material, saying that Brightburn is helping to celebrate Earth Day. Like, what? We can't say that that's an actual valid feat. Nothing in the movie really suggests that he's even close to being that powerful. But still, at his best, with Brightburn destroying buildings, bringing down airplanes, well, you could say he's probably on par with Homelander at the very best. Just a very, very angry little boy with the powers and abilities of a god. Oliver Grayson is the Viltrumite Thraxan son of Omni-Man and Andressa, as well as the half-brother of Invincible. Wanting to be like his brother, but also wanting to be like his dad, well, Oliver is now trying to be a hero known as Kid Omni-Man. Of course, you can kind of put hero in quotation marks, at least for now. While Oliver is still a Thraxan, more than anything, the kid is a Viltrumite. It's just that he's got purple skin. That's kinda all. He also ages a whole lot quicker than pretty much everyone else in the galaxy, as not only did he get his powers years before Mark did, but Oliver was actually showing signs of being a Viltrumite when he was just 5 months old, which at that point was absolutely unheard of. He's also incredibly smart, with his ability to learn new things or master new skills being pretty much unlimited. Oliver is going to remember everything he's ever learned, remember every moment of his existence, and not forget a single thing. But the biggest thing for Kid Omni-Man is that obviously he's got the powers of a Viltrumite. He's insanely strong, able to easily smash through metal and concrete. That's not the only thing he's smashing through either. He easily took down the Mauler twins, a feat that you could argue puts him closer to Invincible's level when it comes to strength. He can fly, and he's incredibly fast enough to actually leave Mark surprised, make Mark kind of push himself in order to keep up. Then lastly, well, Oliver is a very, very tough kid to put down. In fact, so far in the series, nothing has been able to put him down. He's taken electrocution and other attacks, even punches from the Mauler twins, don't bounce back from all of it. More just annoyed that the fight's over versus actually being hurt. So, between these two kids with some serious anger management issues, well, who's coming out on top? Well, for Brightburn, the hardest thing about this character is the idea of introducing no limits fallacies. We see that in two big ways. The idea that Brightburn cannot be hurt, meaning he's literally got no limits to this, and the idea that Brightburn just gets more and more powerful after the end of the movie, eventually taking over the entire world. Again, kinda introducing the idea that Brandon literally has no limits. And I disagree with both of these. One, it's just a bad argument. Saying that because we haven't seen a limit doesn't mean that there isn't one. Same way that you watch The Boys Season 1 and you think that Homelander is invulnerable because we never see him get hurt by anything, only to then watch the other seasons and see that he can be hurt. It was never even suggested that Brightburn is straight up invincible, just that he's ridiculously tough, that the metal from his spaceship is the only thing they know they have on hand that can hurt him. And the same thing goes with the idea that Brightburn only grows more and more powerful, to the point where an adult Brightburn is just as powerful as Superman himself. Well, we've really seen no evidence of this, so I'm capping Brightburn at being able to destroy airplanes and level buildings. Still really impressive though, but Kid Omni-Man honestly already might have this beat, and that's because of the scaling that he gets from killing the Mauler twins, because the Maulers are kinda seriously powerful. I mean, they've always proven to be a hard out and a good fight for Invincible. Even in that very same fight where the Maulers were still hurting Invincible and knocking him around. They're strong enough to battle against the Guardians of the Globe, including trading blows with War Woman and Immortal, who we already know is strong enough to fight against Omni-Man. You can flip it around too, because the Mauler twins are tough enough to take attacks from the Guardians of the Globe, including War Woman and Immortal, who have both been able to injure Omni-Man with their punches. And again, they've given Invincible some serious fights every time too. So you take all that, and you see Kid Omni-Man literally one-shotting them, flying straight through, or punching off their jaw, or even punching off their head. Just absolutely no chill. And if Kid Omni-Man is doing that against those kinds of characters, well, there's really no doubt in my mind he's going to do the same thing against Brightburn here too. Not to mention that Kid Omni-Man isn't going to pull any punches because he doesn't even value human life. God, this kid is terrifying. And you know he's going to be going for Brightburn's head. You can argue that Brightburn has some range attacks with his heat vision, but I don't see that doing anything more to Kid Omni-Man than the attacks he's already taken. End of the day, it's pretty cut and dry for me. Kid Omni-Man scales above Brightburn because he's shown no remorse and no hesitancy to brutally kill his enemies. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen here. After all, that's what happens to bad guys. Kid Omni-Man wins.